Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Motivation with Mommies Teatime, where we inspire and empower moms to manifest the life that they want. I am your host, Ramika Latash, and today we have the remarkable who has traveled a unique path in the world of entrepreneurship and empowerment. Kelly Edwards is not just an entrepreneur, she is a multifaceted business owner with a passion for guiding others towards their own success. In 2006, Kelly ventured into an entrepreneurial landscape with her talent management company, Original Not Equal. Her mission to elevate the quality of talent in her industry. However, in 2013, she made a courageous decision to close one and pursue her passion for social work, dedicating 7 years to making a difference in the social service sector. But Kelly's journey didn't stop there. Driven by her desire to help others, she embarked on her new venture, the Business Shower, a platform dedicated to empowering entrepreneurs worldwide. Kelly's philosophy is clear: success isn't about conforming to someone else's standard, it is about defining it on your terms. Kelly is not only an advocate for both men and women in business, but also a firm believer in giving back to her community. Her goal is to empower individuals to chase their dreams and create thriving companies. Let's dive into her inspiration story. Her mission is to empower fellow entrepreneurs and advocacy for a more inclusive and diverse entrepreneurial world. This is a conversation you don't want to miss. Welcome, Kelly, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I was so excited to receive your invite. And when I read your bio, I just got even more excited because I'm like, this is needed, the business shower. Like, I
Yes.
need to hear more about this. And I think our listeners will be, yes, intrigued to hear what you have to say. Um, I don't know Kelly personally,
Mhm.
but we have connected through social media, through the
Yes.
podcast community.
Yes.
The podcast community has definitely been a blessing to me
Mhm.
um, with receiving guests on my show. Let's Talk Motivation is a baby, it's new. We're on our 20th episode, so you are a
Woo!
milestone for us.
Oh,
Um,
yay.
yeah, this is our 20th episode, so we are excited. We have listeners from 5 countries,
Ooh.
and we have over 36 cities and states that tune into us. So I am excited. I am
Yes,
excited.
I am
Um,
excited too.
yeah, so I'm glad that you chose me um, to come on here, and we're gonna get started and let the listeners know what Kelly Edwards is all about.
Yes. So again, I am Kelly Edward. First of all, thank you for that nice introduction. Like I feel so honored
Yeah,
to be on your show. So
mm,
thank you so much for that introduction.
you're welcome.
But yeah, so I am Kelly Edwards. I am the founder of the Business Shower. Um I started this business to help other entrepreneurs, right? And kind of help them out where I didn't get the help, right? Because there's all these free resources out there, but I've used them all, right?
Yeah,
I've used them and they don't give you a lot of information. You have to kind of put them all together to get all the information that you need. So I started this company to kind of help entrepreneurs navigate through that whole who do I go to, like kind of who to call, when to call, right? We'll just say that. Who to call, when to call, right? So that's why I started this company. Sadly, during the pandemic, I couldn't do my seminars anymore because, we were shut down here in Jersey. So I came up with the idea for the podcast. So that's how the podcast came about. And after having my baby, I took a little bit of a pause because everybody is not familiar with my story, especially on your show, but those who know me know that it was very challenging for me to have my first child. Um, I suffered 5 miscarriages before her, but she's
Mhm.
so I kind of went through a little bit of a depression.
Yeah.
And now I am back. I am better, and I have new and exciting ideas that I cannot wait to share with everybody.
Well, I can't wait either. um, this is something I have thought of like over and over again. As me being an entrepreneur, and just I've noticed people um have great ideas,
Hmm.
but the question is always, where do I start?
Yes.
How do I start?
Yes.
Um, and if we can be more open to helping one another,
Yes.
I think we will have more success.
Yes.
Um, when we get information and we get resources, we hold it for
Hmm.
ourselves
Yes.
instead of passing it along. Because
Hmm.
what people don't understand, your business is your business.
Exactly.
Your clients and your customers are for you. You
Hmm.
can't reach millions of people. So
Yeah.
it's plenty of room for everyone
Hmm.
to be successful and
Exactly.
to make money in their business.
Absolutely.
Um, so this is great. We're going to dive in it, but I just want to talk a little bit about was original not equal.
Hmm.
And I just want you to share a little bit of your journey of this first business that you had, and how you transitioned to social media,
Hmm.
um, and then into the business shower.
Yes. So, Original Not Equal was actually started with a ex of mine. We're not gonna go kind of dive deep into that, but
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
started with him. It was a talent management company. We had
Okay.
started working with a local artist from New Jersey, and from there it just morphed into us kind of managing that artist because we
Mhm.
were doing a lot of the day to day for him anyway.
Mhm.
And it kind of morphed into that, and then from there we decided to start Original Not Equal, and it was supposed to be this very big company, almost a very big talent agency. And then at the cusp of our breakup, the company kind of went downhill,
Yeah.
because it was, it's a battle. It's almost like a divorce, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is mine, this is yours, this is mine, this is yours. So
Mhm.
we just decided to close down the business, and kind of end it there. You go your way and I go my way. From
Mhm.
there I went into social services
Mhm.
because I always liked helping people, and I'm
Yeah.
still in social services for the most part, right?
Yeah.
My 9 to 5 is a social service job. So
Yeah.
um, I went into social services. I loved what I did. I still love what I do. And, now I have my business. This business was brought, I actually registered it in 2019. So before the
Oh,
pandemic,
yeah.
I started the business shower, and then right when the pandemic happened, I kind of had to adjust to the industry. So it
Mhm.
started off as just educational seminars, right? I just
Okay.
wanted to give like educational seminars because
Mhm.
I was facing so many roadblocks and I didn't know who to go to when I needed certain things.
Right.
And I reached out to the WCEC, which is the Women's Institute. This is just here in Jersey, but I think they have them everywhere in the
Okay.
US. I know they have the SBA everywhere.
Okay.
But I couldn't get in touch with the SBS, right? It was
Mhm.
at the height of the pandemic. A lot of things were shut down,
Yeah.
but I was able to get in touch with the WCEC. And they were able to kind of help me. Oh, well, you need this, you go here. If you need this, you go here. And I'm just like,
Right.
do people know this? Like, are y'all promoting this, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and it's for them. It's we want people to come to us, so I understand their whole, their whole business plan.
Yeah.
But I feel like I created a platform to tell people, okay, so this is where you need to go to if you need this.
Right.
This is where you need to go to if you need this. This is what you need to do if you need to, start a business. The first thing I suggest when you start a business is not only check your state to make sure that your name is not taken, right?
Yeah.
You also want to check the USPTO's website and make sure that name is not trademarked anywhere in the US, right?
Yes.
Because that's a big thing. And I had a friend that learned the hard way. She, was starting her business and then found out that, her business was trademarked, and now she can't trademark her name. So she had to start a whole new business. So,
Right.
those are things that you need to do before you start a business per se. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know that. They just kind of go off of the idea and they don't, you know, do the research
Yeah.
to figure out what's taken and what's not taken.
You are so correct.
Mhm.
The reason why I asked you to um, talk to us about your first business is because people are scared to fail.
Yeah.
And what they don't realize, a lot of entrepreneurs start many, many businesses
Yes.
before that one that just takes off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and failure is not actually a bad thing. Um,
No.
it's definitely a learning experience. You get to learn from your lessons and then you build from there. But I love what you're doing now because if we can give the people the resources that they need and the steps that they need to start their business, then I think it would be less mistakes.
Yeah.
But this is why I asked you to go through the journey because people think that we're just successful overnight,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy. You
Yeah.
have your ups, you have your
Oh yeah.
downs, you have mind games that play on you. Like, is this for me or is this not for me? Should
Yep.
I be doing this or should I not be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for taking us through the journey and how you ended up with the business shower.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the business shower is all about empowering entrepreneurs to succeed on their own terms. Can you tell us more about your approach um, to helping fellow entrepreneurs and find a path to success?
Yes. So my approach has actually just been revamped.
Mhm.
But for the most part, my approach is going to be, right, because I'm going to speak it into existence.
Yes.
It's going to be to provide training, educational workshops, podcast services. So a
Mhm.
lot of my day in the life podcast episodes are going to be teaching you kind of what I'm going through right now.
Mhm.
As well as we're going to have the media service, the media aspect of our business too, where we're going to do on-site location interviews, right?
Yeah.
Because my opinion, I may have a different opinion than another business owner. So, and I also want everybody to know it's not only one business you can get into. There's several different businesses out there, which is why I kind of try to interview a variety of people on my show so that
Mhm.
you can kind of see different parts of the business. Like, hey, maybe you might be an author, maybe
Yeah.
you might be an actor, maybe you might be, another podcaster, things
Yeah.
like that. I try to show all aspects of it. So that's my approach when it comes to helping entrepreneurs thrive in their business, just giving different opinions and different aspects of the business
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, I think that is real good. I love that you said you're gonna speak it into existence,
Yes.
because that is what this show is all about, is manifesting the life that you want.
Yes.
Um, and even if you don't have it at this moment, if you just believe it and you see it, um, I talk about this a lot on the show with Let's Talk Motivation.
Mhm.
Let's Talk Motivation was started in 2017
Okay.
when I wrote my book, Let's Talk Motivation 30 Days of Affirmation.
Okay.
But what I did, even though I didn't have the resources or the funds at the time, I wrote it down as I seen it.
Yeah.
Down as God gave me the logo how I wanted it, the colors,
Okay.
which was crazy because
Mhm.
these aren't my favorite colors. My
Mm.
favorite color is purple, but I have
Okay.
pink, neon green, you know. But I wrote it as I saw it, and I wrote it down, and I believe that thing. I started it in 2017. My kids were really little at that time.
Mm.
And I tried to do it live on Facebook when Facebook was that was the big thing to go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I tried to do it live and it was so hard.
Yes.
And I'm telling you this because we talked about your journey and how you start and then you stop and then you just let it go.
Mhm.
And I did a couple of shows. It was a success. I was getting guests to come
Mhm.
on, and it was hard with my husband working and the kids little, trying to keep
Yeah.
them in the other room while I'm going live. And they
Mhm.
know I'm going live. They're
Mhm.
knocking on the door and
Yes.
I'm like trying to mute. And it was a lot. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stop.
Mhm.
And I stopped and I put it to the side
Mhm.
and I felt horrible. You felt like a failure
Yep.
because you done made this big duo, like you
Mhm.
had this show and then now it's no more. And I tell people this story is because even though I put it down, God would not let me let it go.
No.
I still constantly wrote the vision. I kept
Mhm.
writing all the things that I wanted to come out of Let's Talk Motivation. Um, and it, I started again. God said, now is the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Podcast.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm like, oh God, podcast, where I'm going to get the guests from because of the pandemic, I
Mhm.
haven't been out that much, going to different conferences and stuff
Yeah.
and, networking and stuff. So I'm like, where I'm going to get the guests from? And God is just like, trust me, this is time, just do it.
Mhm.
Um, and I started it of June this year,
Mhm.
um, with encouraging finding communities like the podcast community. And
Mhm.
I'm shouting them out. They
Yes.
don't even
Yes.
know. They don't
Mhm.
even know, but I'm shouting them out because it was definitely a push and an inspiration to keep going. Um,
Yes.
and I started out like, I don't know who's going to listen. I know you have to have these many views or these, downloads or whatever.
Mhm.
And God said, using the podcast community to speak to me is that don't focus on that stuff.
Yeah.
Just do your shows,
Mhm.
pace yourself, take the long haul. It's not an overnight success.
No.
Don't focus on that. All of that will come. Just keep going. And that was so inspiring to me
Mhm.
because that's not my focus.
Yeah.
I just do what God asked me to do
Exactly.
is bring the people on,
Mhm.
tell their trials, their tribulations, their challenges, their resources, or whatever they have, for the mothers who are out there who is thinking about starting a business or getting discouraged and saying, "Oh, I can't do this.
Mhm.
I'm just going to put it down. This is not for me." And this platform is just to let them know that you're not the only one that's going through what you're going through.
Yes.
Um, and here we have Kelly. She just
Mhm.
spoke a little bit about her journey and how she started this business. She knew that this business was going to be great,
Mhm.
and then it just fell apart.
Yeah.
And I just love that God gave this to me to have this platform
Yeah.
because it's needed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to keep on talking because this
No.
show is about Kelly Edwards.
No, but you know what? It's good that, um they hear that, especially, new entrepreneurs. It's very good that they hear that because here's the thing in business, and this is what sometimes I don't like about some of the influencers out there because they don't show you what it took to get where they are. They only
Yeah,
show you where they are, right?
yeah, yeah,
So here is where I'm gonna differ. I'm gonna show you what it took to get here. Like you just heard me say I had a baby. Well,
yeah,
before that, I had a baby. Before
yeah,
I had a baby, I had 5 miscarriages, right? That's
yeah,
something
yeah,
women don't talk about. That's one
exactly.
thing that they don't talk about. So then
Yeah,
the second thing is after I had the baby, I went through a little bit of postpartum depression, right?
yeah,
So I had to step away from my business and then come back into it. And my postpartum depression was different because, I have a husband, he's here,
Yeah.
but I couldn't believe that after 5 miscarriages, I have this little girl
Yeah.
who is just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So it was very different. I just couldn't believe. Like, I couldn't believe that this was happening to me, and I couldn't focus on my business. So I took a
Mm,
step back. I
yeah.
would still do little stuff for my business. Like, I would
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit of research here, do a
Right.
little bit of research here,
Right.
but I didn't have the same motivation as I had it when I first started.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it took for me to find out that somebody was using my name, right?
Mm,
And had to serve cease and desist letters and talk to a lawyer and do all of
wow.
this stuff to
Wow.
say, Kelly, get up. You
And do
got
it.
this. This is for you.
Yeah.
And just even talking to the lawyer, he was just like, if this name is popular, it's a reason.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna need you to
Yeah.
do what you need to do. And I was just
Yeah.
like, like, you need to hear that. So
Yeah.
there's 26 alphabets in I always say there's 26 letters in the alphabet,
Yeah.
which means there's 26 ways for you to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes it just helps you to take a step back
Mm-hmm.
and go back in. Like I told
Yep.
my friend the other day, like, she's trying to start a business and she
Mm,
has to do sales pitches and stuff like that. And I'm like, your daughter is old enough to be a part of the sales pitch with you.
yeah.
Use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
So, things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
she never even thought about that before I said that to her. I'm like, she's
Mm-hmm.
old enough to be a part of it with you. And that even means more. Like,
Yeah.
this lady is doing a sales pitch as a single mom with her
Mm-hmm.
child.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, give her flowers. So,
Yes. Yes.
those are things that I just want, moms and even dads, because there's single dads out there. I don't want to,
Oh yeah.
exclude them,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's possible. And you just
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta figure out what's possible and what's gonna work for you.
Yeah. I think people get discouraged when it gets hard.
Yes.
And I feel like when it gets hard, that's the time you're supposed to like really push
Yes.
because you're that close to where you're supposed to be. You're on the right track
Absolutely.
to get into your purpose. And a lot of times we get right there and then
Mm-hmm.
we just stop.
Yeah.
So if we can have people like you and people like me
Mm-hmm.
that can just put a little seed in their air and
Mm-hmm.
just give them that push, that motivation to keep going, um, we'll be good.
Yeah.
We will be good. Um,
Exactly.
what did I wanted to ask you? I wanted to ask you, oh, because this brings me to the next question. Is many expiring entrepreneurs struggle with overwhelming nature of starting and
Mm-hmm.
scaling a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what advice, which you kind of gave us, do you have who are just beginning their entrepreneur journey and seeking clarity in their business goals? And we talked a little bit about that, but
Mm-hmm.
um, just give us a little bit more.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I would say is kind of sit down and draw your roadmap.
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs try to start with a business plan. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Write down your ideas, right?
Mhm.
Write them down, get them organized, and don't think just for right now.
Yeah.
You want to think for now and 30 years from now, right?
Yes, yes. Yep.
So you want to think now and 30 years from now. Do not just think small. Don't think, think big, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to think for now and 30 years from now. Once you get those ideas organized, then I would say go to, the SBA. Most states have a small business organization, and make a consultation with somebody who is experienced in your industry, right?
Yeah.
Right off the bat. And, a lot of people don't like to do that because, oh, I'm sharing my ideas with somebody else. They
Mhm.
sign the NDA, right?
Okay.
You can ask them to sign the NDA,
Yeah.
meaning they cannot, for how many ever years your NDA says, and that's a non-disclosure agreement, right?
Okay.
Meaning they cannot talk about your business
Yeah.
outside of this organization.
Right.
So you're secure. Your business idea is secure. You sit
Mm.
down with them and you talk to them, right?
Okay.
They're gonna give you some tips that you didn't even think that you need to do,
Okay.
um, to move forward with, right?
Yeah.
Then you want to check and make sure that your name is not registered in your state
Yeah.
and the with the USPTO, because if it's trademarked, that means
Mhm.
you can't use it.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and you can get served with a cease and desist letter. So you want
Yeah.
to make sure that your name is secure. Once you get your name secure, I say register it through your state and then register it through the USPTO. You do not need a lawyer to register with the USPTO. You can
Yeah.
call them. They are very helpful. I never thought that the IRS and the
Mhm.
USPTO would be nice,
So
but
helpful,
they
right?
are very helpful. And then if
Mhm.
you go to their website, they have a list of schools, because when you become a lawyer, you have to have hours to
Yeah.
be able to get your law degree. So they have a list of schools that they deal with
Mhm.
directly that will help you if you have any questions. What I found out when I was registering my trademark was that the librarians at your public library can help you with business related research. And
Yeah.
I did not believe it. I was just like, you're lying, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, you don't believe it. But I called Newark Public Library and
Okay.
I spoke to the librarian there and she
Yeah.
brought me in and helped me do research. So I was shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
So like those are things that you want to do. You want to sit down with somebody, you want to talk to somebody. If you can afford to get a mentor in the industry, then fine. But I am a firm believer of YouTube University, and
Yep.
I am a firm believer in getting stuff for free because
Yeah.
I have bills to pay, right?
Right.
So go to the SBS first
Mm.
before you try to spend all this money to scale your business. YouTube
Mm.
University is the best, though. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there that are giving you free information on
Mm.
YouTube. You just
Yeah.
need to learn the keywords, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I hope you guys are taking notes because
Yes.
Kelly has given some nuggets
Yes.
and some free
Exactly.
nuggets, okay?
Yes. Exactly.
That people pay a lot of money for
Yes.
just to get the information, not
Yeah.
the process,
Mhm.
just to get the information and who to contact
Yes.
and where to contact. So I hope you guys are just like, I hope this is like a aha moment. Thank you,
Mhm.
Lord. I needed that. Write that down. Let me get on it.
Yes.
Because that was golden, what she
Yes.
just gave me.
And I'm gonna
Um,
and I'm gonna take it a step further. Most states, I will say, most states, when you register your business with the state, they have a hotline that you can call to ask questions. They
mhm.
also, I know here in New Jersey, they offer classes to help you register your business
Okay.
before you even register your business. Like, you can
Mhm.
literally go to one of these classes and everything is online thanks to the pandemic. So you
Yes.
don't have to go
Mhm.
physically to a class like I had to go back in 2019, but
Yeah.
you can go to a class and they will show you why you should choose a LLC, why you
Mhm.
should choose a S corp, why you should do,
Mhm.
like, they go through it and that's your
Mhm.
moment to ask questions.
Right.
So I would definitely say try the free resources before you go to LegalZoom and
Right.
all those places, pay all
Yeah.
that extra money when it's $75 to register your business with the state of New Jersey. No, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
125
Okay.
to register
Mhm.
your business with the state of New Jersey.
Mhm. Y'all hear that?
Mhm.
Y'all hear that? Oh my God, that's golden. I'm trying to tell you, everybody don't give that information.
Nope.
So I hope you take it and run with it. I've learned some things on here that I need to do. Um, because when you have multiple businesses, you need to have your stuff right.
Yeah.
I even picked up a couple of nuggets from her, and I didn't know she was in New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey.
Oh! Yes,
I'm
yes.
in New Jersey.
So we need to
Um,
connect so I could give you whatever you need.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. I'm like all in my head of who I can connect you with
Mhm.
because your story as far as like the miscarriage and stuff those topics need to be talked about.
Yes.
And I just met a person through this podcast, and I'm going to say her name, Portia, which we had in our previous show, um, reclaiming motherhood,
Okay.
and it's helping Black women um, through their pregnancies and um, helping them with doulas and
Oh,
natural births and herbs and stuff to help them who may have been going through miscarriages and stuff. And she has a good business, and she's in Philly.
okay.
Um, but I would love to connect you with her because she has some awesome things coming up, and I think that you would be a good person to connect with her on. That was free. I don't mind shouting nobody out. I don't
Yes.
mind
See,
connecting,
that's what we
catching
need.
anybody
That's what
together.
we need here. That's what we
Yeah,
need.
because I was so excited about what she was doing. I was like, oh, people need to hear about this.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, yeah.
And I went the natural way too. I went the natural way. I did
Okay,
not have to thank God I did not have to go through IVF to conceive my
nice,
daughter. It was
nice.
literally changing my diet and
Yeah.
making sure that I had the right vitamins in my system.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
can't wait to talk to her.
Oh yeah, yep. I was like, oh no, I know who I can connect her with
Yep.
because her story. I mean, I don't know the details, but just you seeing five miscarriages, I mean, that's a story within itself.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna connect you with her. But then my last question is just how do you balance it all? Your role as an entrepreneur, you advocate, community contributor. What keeps you motivated, inspired to continue your journey to empower others?
Yes. So I had to remember my why, right? Why I started this business, right? And the reason for me starting this business is because I can't work for nobody else. Like, yes, I have a 9 to 5, but they consistently make me upset because of the way that they're running their business, right? And I had to sit there and say to myself, like, I am running your business for you, right? I am technically running your business for you, and you are making so many mistakes. And it was just very hard for me to like separate myself from this is not your business, this is their business. Stop trying to run it like your business, right? So that was my why. And then when the pandemic happened, I got laid off at a company that I was at for 13 years. And that was heartbreaking because it was just like, you did this to me.
Mhm.
I gave
That's
you 13
honest.
years of my life, right?
Okay.
So it was just like that. That was my why. And I had to remember, Kelly, you can't work for nobody else.
Yeah.
You have to work for yourself. And
Yeah.
if you can run someone else's business, that means you can run your business.
Absolutely.
So I had to remember that. Balancing it all. Thank God for my husband. Shout out to Terrell, that's my husband.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, the
Yeah.
dogs would be barking. My daughter would be trying to get into this podcast. So he
Mhm.
has them upstairs locked in the room. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
But he helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because he believes in my dreams and he knows that I cannot work for other people because he hears my, my frustration when I talk about work. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't believe they're doing this. They should be doing this. And he's like,
Right.
don't care.
Right.
Do that in the business shower. And I'm like, you're right.
Right.
You're right. So he brings me
Yeah.
back to that,
Yeah.
Kelly, focus on your business. So
Yeah.
that is kind of how I balance it all and,
Yeah.
kind of remember my why. And then I also don't want anybody to go through what I went through with my first
Yeah.
business because with
Yeah.
my first business, I made so many mistakes
Yeah.
that could have been detrimental to me.
Yeah.
Meaning, I could still, owe the IRS. I could still because I wasn't filing business taxes, right?
Yeah.
They don't talk about that. So those are all the things that I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. And I
Yeah.
paid extra to register my business when I could have just did it through the state of New Jersey. Like
Yeah.
things like that kind
Yeah.
of sets in, and I just want to share what I know.
Yeah, definitely the support from your husband, my husband, is definitely important.
Yeah.
I have 4 children,
Oh.
and they're older now, so they're getting into their teen years, so they have their own friends. So we're
Mm-hmm.
being pulled in this direction, that direction. They want to hang with their friends, the
Mm-hmm.
extracurriculum, and then just me trying to get the podcast going and my other business with the natural hair care. It's like he's always there. Like I don't have to ask. He just steps in whatever he need. If I'm having a long day because I still work a 9 to 5 too.
Mm-hmm.
He cooks.
Mm-hmm.
He cooks without me even asking. Just and I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that support like that, where you can still focus on your business and be okay if I didn't cook dinner this day, my husband cooked it, or I wasn't at this child's game, but my husband was able to take them, or I took, because we have to be split in half sometimes because of the schedule. So I love that you said part of the balance is the support
Mm-hmm.
from your husband, because that is important when your spouse believe in you just as much as you believe in, what you're doing.
Yes.
In those days when you get kind of like lazy, they kind of see you and they're like, aren't you supposed to be doing,
Yes.
what you doing?
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you're
He
like,
he
what?
is he is Mr. Hold You Accountable, because
Yeah,
he's not gonna let anything slide. Well, isn't this what you're supposed to be doing? I'm like, well,
yeah.
thank you very much.
And like earlier in the summer, I had an event that I had put together, and I had like these postcards and stuff that I wanted to do. And I was just gonna print it out on regular paper. And he's like, no, you putting this nice event together, you're not gonna have that cheap paper. And he just like, I didn't even know. He ordered like the thick cardboard paper and
Mm-hmm.
he like sized everything and printed it out. And that's what you need, because sometimes you try to be everything in the business
Yeah.
and you don't ask for that help because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's my business, I see it the way I see it. And
Yep.
sometimes you do have to ask for that help.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, I'm glad that you shout out your husband, because that's important.
It is.
um I remember one time I was having a conversation on the phone and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this all by myself. And when I got off the phone, he was like really offended, like, what you mean you doing it all by yourself? And I'm looking at him like, what? But I am. And it's like, no, you're not doing it all by yourself, because I'm here, whatever you need me to do, I'm here. And like, I really had to like sit back and like really think and like apologize. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, he's here and I have to give him his props. Like
Yeah.
he is helping me out. Even if he's not up hours with me, those hours that I'm focusing on my business, he's doing something else,
Yeah. And
with the
that's a
family.
good way to look at it, because I was just like you. I was like, I'm doing this all by myself. And he's
Hmm.
just like, you don't know what doing it all by yourself means, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, yes, I do. I do it all by myself. He was like, no, you don't. But I'm going to show you. So for one day, he did nothing.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, all right, that's enough. Like, I didn't
Okay.
even make it through the whole day. I
Oh
was
no.
just like, I can't. Just stop.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I know we're kind of like going off topic, but
Mhm.
um we focus so much on ourselves and
Yeah.
what we're doing,
Yes.
and we forget about our partners. That's a marriage counseling thing.
Yes,
But
it is.
you forget
Mhm.
about them because you're so focused on what you're doing and what they're not doing.
Yes.
And sometimes you need to set a step back and be
Mm.
like, okay, they are doing something, even if it's not the way that you think it should be done, they are doing it.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I appreciate you just speaking on how to balance it. I always ask my guests, how do you balance it all? Because that
Mhm.
is an important question. Because this is what this platform is about. We get
Yeah.
discouraged because it's so much,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
people want to know, how do you balance it all?
Yes.
Um, you're not always successful, and it's
Mhm.
okay. Don't
Yep.
beat yourself up.
Nope.
Okay. If
Just
you
keep
didn't get it
going.
done today, you'll get it done tomorrow. If you didn't get it
Exactly.
done at the top of the day, try at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you for that. Our guests always hit it on the nose on how to balance it. And I ask, like I said, I ask that question all the time on the show because I want our listeners to hear that it can be done. It
Yeah.
can be done. Um, Lastly, I want you to tell us how we can connect with you,
Yes.
um, where we can find you on social media, any up and coming events that you have. We want to hear it all because we want to stay connected.
Okay. Yes. So, for the most part, you can find me on my website, which is www.thebusinessshowerevents.com. On social media, my handles are at the Business Shower Events. If you want to email me directly, it is Kelly at thebusinessshowerevents.com. Things that are coming up. There's a lot of things that are coming up, because I am in a little bit of a legal situation right now with the trademark
Yeah,
that I had, and finding out that people were using my information. I don't really want to talk too much about it.
yeah,
Just know that there is a lot coming through the pipeline, and it's going to involve actually having business owners have a business shower.
yeah,
So that's all I'll say about that right now.
yeah. Hmm.
But it'll be on the website. I'm gonna say probably January or February.
Nice,
Yes,
nice. Now you have a podcast, right? Is that
I
called the
do.
business? Yes, let's
It's
talk
called the
about it.
Business Shower. It's called the Business Shower Podcast.
Yes.
So I interview business owners as well, and we talk about how they build systems in their business. So a lot of my guests, they drop gems on how they did certain things in their business, what resources they use, right?
Yeah,
Because I interview business owners all across the United States. So
yeah,
what resources did your state offer you to help you to successfully have your business, and just some things that they've learned. So it's a
yeah,
lot going on. We have the media company coming where I'm going to be, kind of like news. I'll be like the news station at events, and I'm going to talk
yeah.
to business owners at events. So we have a lot of good things coming up.
Oh,
I'm
we're
very excited
connected
for.
for a reason. Oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
loving it. I love it because I was trying to find ways how to just get out and go to the businesses and
Hmm.
just see them, show the people their day to day and how they work their business
Yes.
and I think when you do that, it gets people excited.
Yes.
You know, it gives them that little push, that motivation, like, oh, I can do this.
Yes.
So I love what I'm hearing. I love your ideas. Like we're definitely have to stay connected.
Hmm.
I can't thank the podcast community enough.
Yes. Thank
Uh,
you, guys.
I can't thank them enough. It's so many gems and encouragement in that community. I love how they support one another. If you're looking for guests, they're like tagging people in. They're like, look, check this out.
Hmm.
I just love it. Get with a community that's doing what you're doing, um,
Yes.
because that is important. I didn't know anything about the podcast community. I didn't know anything about. I mean, I knew about podcasts, but I don't know what all it involves.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of research, and I found what platforms work for me.
Hmm.
And I'm still looking
Yes.
because I want to be like the professional, ones.
Yes.
But God told me you start here.
Mhm.
Start here. Don't worry about it, because like you said, you write down your vision for now and you write it down from years later. So
Yes.
it's going to happen,
Yep.
but you gotta start somewhere.
Yes.
I thank you, Kelly, for being
Thank
on
you.
this show. I really do. I'm telling you, I get excited about my guests. Like if you don't know, now I'll be like this, like a kid in like candy store. Like especially when people like start talking and they talking what I want to hear. I'm just like
Mhm.
moving in my chair. Like yes, you
Yes.
know how you be in church. You
Yes.
get
Yes.
so
This
excited because I'm
being
like,
on this show
yeah.
gave me so much motivation.
Oh, thank you. So
Yes. Yes.
yes, yes, we need that push, that motivation, that encouragement to say, okay, all right, I can do it. All right,
Exactly.
round two,
Mm-hmm.
round three. like,
Yes.
like I can do it. So, listeners, thank you for tuning in. Our affirmation for the week is I am motivated and inspired to define success on my own terms. That is so important. Yes, journal it,
Mm-hmm.
journal it.
Yeah.
Write it down, write it on a sticky, speak that over yourself because, yes, we want to encourage ourselves to be motivated,
Mm-hmm.
inspired, and to define our success on our own terms. So you speak that over yourself, you speak that over your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. Join us every Monday morning at 9 a.m. as we continue to inspire and empower moms to manifest the life that they want. Bye.